Hello, Facebook, YouTube. This is Prophet Tony O'Byrne once again with another live video. And tonight I'm going to talk about a serious topic. And what I'm going to talk about is this Black Lives Matter movement, real talk. Because I'm going to say this right here. First of all, and it's sad, man, about the black race of people. I'm being honest with you, man. It's sad how we can come together when a white man, you know what I'm saying, come across our head, knock us across our head, or gun us down. We can come together then and we want to protest. But I'm going to say this right here, but it's sad how, you know what I'm saying, we can gun each other down and go across each other's head. We can't protest about that now. Don't that sound kind of backwards? I mean, to y'all, I'm just keeping it real, man. It's sad, man. I'm telling you the truth. But I'm going to keep it real, man. This is some real talk, man. Black people, we don't realize, man, we have a problem within ourselves. That's the truth, man. And the thing about it, I'm going to say this right here. If we're going to protest about something, we need to protest about, you know what I'm saying, as far as us killing each other and all this hatred that's going on between us. I'm being honest with you because we the only race of people that cannot get along. I'm keeping it real, man, not even family-wise. If you was to go to a black club right now, I'm talking about, man, it's going to be a fight that's going to break out, man. Somebody going to get shot. I'm being honest with you, but if you go to a white club, I'm talking about, man, a fight may break out every now and then. I'm just keeping it real. But then as far as them killing each other, man, like how we do, you don't see that. Not even dealing with the Hispanics. We the only race of people, I'm talking about, that be gunning each other down out there in the streets that you hear about on the news. I'm keeping it real, man, on Facebook. That's all you hear about, black people killing each other. It's real talk, but it's sad when a white person come across our head. This is the only time we can come together. We got a problem within ourselves, man, and we need to learn to come together. We need to bear all this hatred. We need to stop being jealous of one another, man. We need to learn to start supporting one another, and we need to stop competing against each other. I'm keeping it real, man. I'm talking about if your brother come up, if he rise to the top, what you want to do? Instead of you congratulating, man, I'm talking about you jealous of him, and then the thing about it, you want to compete with or try to outdo him. I'm being honest with you, man. This is what's going on dealing with the black race of people. We need to kill all this hatred, man. I'm being honest with you, man, but we want to protest when a white man come across our head. I'm just telling you the truth. We need to learn to come together. That's our problem. And the reason why a lot of these police officers gunning us down, because we don't know how to cooperate. It's real talk, man. We do things, man. I'm talking about to get ourselves shot. I'm talking, man, you want to mouth off to that man or that woman. You want to cuss them out, call them I'm talking about BITCHs. I'm just keeping it real, man. We want to cuss them out and talk and mouth off to them. But at the end of the day, it's their word against yours. That's the law you're dealing with. I'm being honest with you, man. And by you mouthing off at that man, don't you know? And even by you snatching away your wrist, don't you know you can get up to 5 years in prison? Real talk, man, just for snatching away your wrist. And then someone wants you to mouth off at them so they can grab you, rough you up, take you on the ground. Real talk. And someone wants you to mouth off to them, not only just so they can rough you up, someone wants you to mouth off to them so that they can take your life too. Because you got a lot of law enforcement officers out there, not all of them, but majority of a lot of them, they're racist. And they don't like black people. I'm being honest with you. And some of them, they took on a job just so they can do, you know what I'm saying, as far as what they want to do to black people. I'm just being honest with you. It's the truth. This is why you have to be wise when you deal with them. Like the Bible says, soft answer turn away wrath. And that Bible don't lie. That's some real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Even my mom encountered a police officer some years back. Real talk. That was out of town, though. And the thing about it, man, I'm talking about, boy, they was acting real nasty towards my mom. But my mom, I'm talking about, she dealt with them in a wise way. But if my mama had been mouthing off at them, they would have grabbed her and roughing her up too. It probably would have took her life. But because she was wise with them, she was able to come home, you know what I'm saying, and be with her family. This is real talk. And I'm saying this to y'all, man. You got to be wise, man, when you deal with the law, man. I'm telling you the truth. Black, whites, and Hispanics, not just blacks. Real talk, whites and Hispanics, man, because at the end of the day, man, you stand for that judge. Even if you white and you a fellas, man, I'm being honest with you. They don't care what color you is, man. I'm being honest with you, man. If God is not with you, you gone. It's real talk, especially if you black. It's real talk, man, because we done worse than any other race. Real talk, we done the worst. That's real. This is why you have to be wise when you deal with them. I'm just keeping it real, man. You have to be wise. Because if you're not wise, it can cost you your life. And what's the use of mouthing off to that man, that woman? You end up going to prison. I'm talking about now you got to serve a life sentence. I'm talking about just by you mouthing off at them, man, even if you don't serve a life sentence, by you just having up to 5 to 10 to 15 years in prison when they could have been avoided. I'm being honest with you, because ain't no fun in prison. Being in prison is like being in bondage because ain't no freedom. I'm being honest with you, man. At least at your own house, you can go outside. I'm talking about you can smell the fresh air. I'm talking about, man, you can get up when you feel like it. That's a beautiful thing, man. When you get up out your own bed when you feel like it. I'm talking about, man, you can cook whatever foods you want to cook. But in prison, you can't do that. You got only, man, this little small room. You got these bars in front of you. That's as far as you can see. You know what I'm saying? But you're not seeing the outside world. That's real talk, man. You don't got no freedom. That's real. That's why you have to learn how to cooperate when you deal with the law, because you cannot win. You got so many black men in America that have lost their life when it comes to the law enforcement. It's ridiculous. And it's all because we don't know how to comply. It's real. Like, I'm going to show y'all this young man right now. This young man had carried himself in a wise way. This happened in Miami. Real talk. And the thing about it, the police officer told this man to get out the car. Real talk, they told him, good, get out the car. This man didn't want to get out, so they snatched him out, threw his behind on the ground, broke his leg, and put the handcuffs on. They want you to mouth off to him, some of them, because some of them nasty. And the thing about it, they want to rough you up. That's why you have to be wise when you deal with them and respect that man or that woman just like they're your slave master or your slave catcher. That's real talk, and it's not that you weak. Because I'm saying this right here, I'm not weak at all. I'm telling you the truth, man. I'm just keeping it real. If a police officer was to hit me and then have that badge on, I'm just keeping it real. I'm going to handle my business. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the law enforcement, real talk, especially if they got that badge on, you got to be wise. I'm just telling you the truth, because by you mouthing off that man to that man or hitting that man, they get them a reason to rough you up or to take your life. That's real talk. I'm telling you the truth, man. But I'm going to show y'all this video right here. And this right here should make you think. I'm being honest with you. That's the reason why a lot of black men are getting murdered out there. I'm talking about in the streets, in the world in general. That's real talk, because we don't know how to carry ourselves when it comes to the law. I'm being honest with you. And we want to talk about it's a white man fault, this and that. Man, that man just doing his job. That's real talk, man. That law enforcement officer just doing his job. It's first of all, I'm going to say this right here. It's left up to you to be wise or not. If you don't be wise, then it's going to cost you. That's just your fault. That's your problem. So now you serving you serving years in prison, or you done lost your life over stupidity. That's why I'm saying you got to be wise. It's real talk. I'm telling you the truth, man. I ain't finna tell you nothing but the truth. That's real talk. People can get mad at me all you want to, but it's the truth. That's the reason why a lot of black people are getting gunned down out there, because they don't know how to comply. And it's the truth, man. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna say this right here too. You got a lot of black men that are out there, I'm talking about that's innocent, that done got gunned down by the law enforcement officer, real talk. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, God to deal with them on that part. Because I'm gonna say this right here. That's why I'm gonna say this too, even to our law enforcement officers, real talk, in America. That's why you have to be wise even when you deal with people too. Because I'm gonna say this right here. You gotta understand, God is up there in heaven and he's looking down and he judged. That's why you got a lot of these law enforcement officers, man. I'm talking about their children are being messed up. And I'm being honest with you. And that's why God is allowing a lot of these law enforcement officers to suffer. Real talk. Not only just them, but also their family on account of their sins. That's real talk. That's why you have to be wise even when you deal with people. And you have to treat people, you know what I'm saying, how you want to be treated. This real talk. God allowed the law to be made so they can do their job fairly. I'm just being honest with you. But a lot of law enforcement officers, they don't do their job fairly. Not even the ones that's in the judicial system. They don't judge fairly. I'm talking about they throw some of these black men away. I'm talking about for some of the stupidest stuff. I'm talking about the simplest thing, man. A nickel bag of weed, this man getting 15 to 20 years in prison. Like he done committed murder. I'm being honest with you, man. I'm telling you the truth, man. That's why you have to, man, learn to keep your nose clean, stay out of the way of the law, and learn how to deal with the law if you was to encounter one. It's real, man. If you was to encounter the law, learn how to deal with them in a wise way. And I guarantee you, by you talking to that man or that woman, I'm talking about in a respectful way, you can't help but to go home. I'm being honest with you. And if they take you to jail I'm talking about for carrying yourself in a wise way, you best believe you're going to get out, because you didn't do nothing, you know what I'm saying, to get yourself caught up. Anyway, I'm just keeping it real, man. You didn't do nothing. So at the end of the day, by you carrying yourself in a wise way, and by you doing what that man or that woman telling you to do, I mean, they don't got nothing on you. I'm telling you the truth. There's real talk, man. But by you mouthing off and by you cussing that man out, real talk, they giving them a reason to rough you up, take you on the ground, or put that gun on you and take your life. There's real talk. Now watch this dealing with this young man. This is some real talk right here. If this young man had to carry himself in a wise way, he would have never got his behind, snatched out the car and throw it on the ground. He would have never got his leg broke. This is real talk. Watch this. Now, check out this video right here. Check this out.
What? You pull up on me like this? What? Get out the car. Get out the car. You pull up on me like this? Make sure it's apart. Make sure it's apart. Stop the car. Stop the car. Turn the key off. What are you talking about? Get out of the car. I tried to pull up.
Stupid.
I didn't run you. You can't run at me. No, I didn't. You kept trying to tell me. What are you talking about? You can't run at me with the car. No, I didn't. What are you talking about? I got it. My leg is real. Oh, nobody. Here, come stand. I'm trying to run you over. I'm going to the gas station. When you pull up like that. You pull up over here on us like that. I stopped. What are you talking about? My tank is on the other side. That's why I turned around. Get up. Stop. Get up.
You heard what that man, you know what I'm saying? You heard what happened. They told him to step out the car. His behind wanted to stay in the car. Real talk, instead of him getting out, he should have just got out. That's real talk. Because whatever they tell you to do, man, you need to do it. That's real. And the thing about it, what made it so bad on his part is he didn't get out. So they had to snatch him out, snatch his behind on the ground, and broke his leg. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to comply. The police officer tell you to get out of the car, man, get your behind out of the car. I'm talking about the moment you drive down the road, I'm going to say this right here. Police officer turn them sirens on to get behind you. You pull over, he asks you for your license and your registration, give it to him. Real talk. If he tell you, man, to step out of the car, you step out of the car. If he tell you to put your hands up, you put your hands up. And if he tell you to get on the ground, you get on the ground. You cooperate with that man and you do whatever he tell you to do. Because I'm going to say this right here, by you complying with that man, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, he going to let you, you know what I'm saying, get up and go home and you will live to see another day. That's real talk. But notice how this young man, police told him to get out the car. He didn't want to get out. So what they did was they snatched his behind out and threw him on the ground and then broke his leg. That could have been avoided if he had complied. That's real, but I'm just showing y'all, man, this is what's going on in America dealing with, you know what I'm saying, the black race of people. But we want to do all this protesting and talking about Black Lives Matter just because of what happened dealing with George Floyd. I'm keeping it real, but a lot of this stuff, like I said, a lot of black men, you know what I'm saying, a lot of police officers, you know what I'm saying, have murdered. And I'm talking about a lot of black men were innocent that a lot of these police officers have murdered. It's real talk, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for the ones that don't comply. I'm keeping it real. You got majority of a lot of black men out there that have been murdered by these police officers because they do not know how to comply. It's real talk, man. I'm talking about, man, you want to cuss that man out, talking about what you didn't do, this and that, man. I'm being honest with you, man. You got to be wise. It's real, man, and you got to learn how to comply. And most importantly, learn how to stay out of the way of the law. Leave them streets alone. I'm keeping it real with you, and I'm trying to school y'all, man, because a lot of our parents ain't teaching us nothing. I'm just keeping it real, man. And it ain't our fault. I'm being honest with you. It's not a lot of black men's fault that are out there in the streets. It's the parents' fault. Because they was to raise their children up in a proper way. You know what I'm saying? If they I'm talking about if they had got on their child at a young age, 3, 4, 5 years old, because this is what goes on in a lot of black people's house. I'm just going to keep it real. This is what's going on in a lot of black people's houses. I'm being honest with you, dealing with their children. Is they let their children grow up cussing them out 3, 4, 5 years old. And the thing about it, they don't nip this stuff at the bud. They let it go on. And then they let their child go out there in the streets. 13, 14, 15 years old out there in the streets, slanging dope. Out there in the streets, I'm talking about like that. And then come home when they feel like it, like they're a grown woman or a grown man. Real talk, then they have the audacity to cuss you out and tell you what they ain't going to do and what they going to do. And I'm going to say this right here. It's because you failed. You know what I'm saying? As a parent to raise your child up in the right way. That's real talk, man. You didn't discipline them right. You didn't get on their behind. Because I'm going to say this right here. However you raise your child up to be, that's how that child going to turn out to be. I'm just keeping it real. That's just like right now. If you're a dope dealer, I'm being honest with you. And if you don't raise your son up, I'm talking about to be better than you. If you don't raise your son up and if you don't teach your son to not live that life that you once used to live, your son going to grow up. And especially if he see you doing that, real talk, he's going to carry on them same ways. It's the same dealing with a hoe when it comes to a woman. I'm keeping it real, man. If you a hoe, you out there in the streets shaking your behind 9 times out of 10. If you don't teach your daughter to do better than you and to not live that life that you living, she going to grow up shaking her behind and doing the same thing that you doing. And the thing about it, it's going to be a generational thing that's going to pass down. It's the truth, man. I'm being honest. That's why we need to teach our children, man. put your foot down. I'm gonna say this right here. Even if you have made mistakes in life, you should teach your child, your son or your daughter, to be better than you and to not to make those mistakes. It's real talk. Because at the end of the day, it gotta die somewhere. I'm being honest with you because it's sad. This is what's going on dealing with the black race of people right now. You got a black mother. I'm talking about her son ended up dying in the streets. So she ended up having a daughter, real talk, and her daughter ended up having a son. And I'm talking about her son ended up dying out there in the streets. And then, you know what I'm saying, she ended up having a daughter, and her daughter's son, she ended up having a son, and then her son ended up dying in the streets. It ended up being a generational thing. That curse got to stop somewhere. I'm being honest with you, man, and it's gonna start with one of y'all. I'm being honest with you, got to start with us. I'm keeping it real, man. We gotta bury this stuff, man. I'm being honest with you, man. We gotta teach our children. I got cousins right now, man. I'm talking about that was out there in the streets. Real talk, man. But at the end of the day, they sons and daughters ain't out there in the streets because they raised their child up in the right way, and they taught them not to live that life that they once used to live. The same dealing with me. My daddy used to be out there in the streets heavy. I'm talking about, man, my daddy will put that fire on you in a minute. What I mean by fire, he'll put that gun on. I'm being honest with you, and the thing about it, he didn't fear. He don't care if it was 20, he don't care if it's 100 men. I'm just keeping it real. He'll come kick the door down, and he'll blow every last one of them up. I'm just telling you the truth, man, how my daddy used to be. I'm talking about he was so bad out there in them streets. I'm talking about it's bad. I'm talking about it got to be something serious when SWAT come for you. I'm talking about, man, SWAT had the whole complex surrounded. I'm talking about with nothing but, I'm talking about SWAT was out there, also police officers. I'm talking about they had dogs out there. I'm keeping it real, man. That's when you know it's bad. I'm telling you the truth. But at the end of the day, he taught me not to live that life. And I ain't never been out there in the streets, man. I'm talking about selling dope, man, out there. I'm talking about, I ain't never been out there like that. Even though I know a lot about the streets, but I ain't never been out there. That's real talk. And the reason why I ain't never been out there because my daddy put his foot down. You know what I'm saying? And he taught me. And that's what y'all have to do with them with y'all children. Teach them. It's real talk, man. Raise them up in the right way because at the end of the day, it's sad how we losing our sons and daughters out there in the streets, man. I'm being honest with you, man. It's sad you got to go to your own son's funeral. I'm talking about, man, you all up on a casket, crying. Real talk, man. I'm being honest with you, man. It's sad. It's sad, man. I'm talking about, man, you got mothers all over the United States. Even right now, even as I'm speaking. I'm talking about mothers. I'm talking about even right now as I'm speaking, I'm talking about this crying over their son right now because he just got murdered in the streets. That's real, man. Check this out, man. It's sad, man. You got to go to your own son's funeral. Now, look at this family right here. Look at that. Sad, man. That's what's going on in America right now. Check this out. I'm being honest with you, man. Sad. This what's going on right now in America, man. I'm talking about we losing our sons and daughters by the masses, man. That's why it's important to teach your sons and teach your daughters because that could be avoided, man. I'm being honest with you, man. It's sad, man. I'm talking about, you know, statistics say this right here dealing with the black man that he's not going to even live up to see 30 years old. It's sad, man. Just like this black guy right now in this video, this dude lived to, I'm talking just to see 30 years old, man. I'm talking about, man, and it's sad that this guy lost his life, even though, you know what I'm saying, it was dealing with some beef that he had. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this right here. It's sad how we losing our sons and our daughters. They don't even reach the age of 30, dying at the age of 25. I'm talking about dying at the age of, I'm talking about you got I'm talking about young men that are dying at the age of 16, 17, 18. Don't even reach the seat. I'm talking about they don't even live to see 21. It's sad, man. I'm being honest with you, man. And if you was to look at the state of Chicago, look it up for yourself. Real talk. The murders in Chicago, I'm talking about, exceeded the Iraq war. There was so many murders committed in Chicago, man. I'm talking about it exceeded the Iraq war. That's sad, man. I'm talking about dealing with black young men that was murdered out there in the streets by the hands of another black man. It's sad, man. And not only that, I'm talking about the murders in Chicago exceeded. I'm talking about you had more murders in Chicago than it was also even in New York. I'm talking about also in New York and also even in Los Angeles, California combined. There's a lot of murders dealing with, I'm talking about black young men. It's sad, man. That's why we need to teach our sons and our daughters, man. Teach your son, man, and your daughter, man, to get their education. Teach your son, and I'm talking about your daughter, man, because I'm going to say this right here. This is a land of opportunity. Ain't nobody holding us back. Real talk, we can say the white man holding us back all we want to. We are holding ourselves back. Because this is a land of opportunity, man. You can get your own business. That's real talk, man. Even if you are a felon, man, you can still get your own business. That's real talk, man. I'm being honest with you. Or you can get an education and become a lawyer or a doctor. I'm being honest with you, man. I'm just telling you the truth, man. We can make something out of ourselves, but we chose to be out there in the streets. That's real talk, man. And the reason why we out there is because it's a parent problem. Because our parents didn't teach us right. And then some of our parents, they're out there in the streets too. So how can you be a help to your child? But I'm talking about your child right there behind you in the streets. Both of y'all in the streets getting buck wild. Both of y'all out there cussing and fighting. I'm just keeping it real, man. Man, they got to start something. Well, we got to teach our children to be better than how we are. It's the truth, man. It's going to start with you. It's real talk, because at the end of the day, if you lose your son or your daughter out there in the streets, it's nobody's fault but yours because you failed to raise them. It's real talk, man. You didn't raise them right. So it's your problem. It's real talk, man. I'm telling you the truth, man. It's sad, man. But I'm going to take y'all this scripture right here to show you something. And this was going on in America right now, man. Our children are oppressing us more so than anything. Real talk. I'm just backing this up with scripture to show y'all something. Our children, man, are oppressing us more so than anything. Go to Isaiah. This is some real talk, man. Isaiah chapter 3, starting at verse 12. It's real, man. And the reason why our sons are like how they are too, because ain't no fathers in the house. It's real talk. A lot of our fathers, black fathers, are locked up in prison, serving a life sentence. So, the woman, she can only do so much. It's real. That's why I'm going to say this right here. If we had more fathers in the house, this real talk, a lot of our sons, real talk, wouldn't be out there in the streets. They wouldn't be doing what they doing, because one thing about a father, he can put his foot down and he can put fear in that child. With that child, I'm talking about, he can't help but to humble down. It's the truth, man. But that's the reason why a lot of our sons are locked up too. And a lot of our sons are out there in the streets, because the father's not in that child's life. It's real talk, and that child is learning the hard way. And the streets are raising our children. Not only are the streets raising our children, know who else raising our children? The music industry. That's real talk. That's who raising our children. Lil Boosie, Lil Wayne, Meek Mills. That's who raising our sons. And the ones that's raising our daughters is Cardi B, Beyonce. I'm being honest with you, Nicki Minaj. That's why our daughters are turned out to be straight up whores, because we ain't teaching them how to dress in a presentable way and how to carry themselves, you know what I'm saying, in a decent way. It's real talk. That's why you got so many women in America, I'm talking about, that are straight up whores. And this thing finna get worse. It's gonna get so bad in America, it's gonna be really hard to find a good woman. I'm being honest with you, man. That's why if you was to find you a good woman, even right now, it's hard to find. Imagine another 10 years from now. I'm being honest with you, because the world is getting more, I'm talking about, the land is full of adulteries. Like how the Bible talks about, real talk, and the world is getting more provocative. I'm being honest with you, man. The world is getting more sexual. I'm talking about, it's sad, man. It's going to be hard to find a good, decent woman. I'm just telling you the truth. It's going to take God, man. I'm keeping it real. If you find a good woman 10 years from now, man, you consider as being blessed. Even now, you consider as being blessed, because it's so hard to find a good woman now. I'm being honest with you, how these women, I'm talking about how they be dressed, and a lot of them, man, they ain't nothing but straight up whores. That's real talk. I'm just telling you the truth. But that's who raising our daughters and our sons. The ones that's raising our sons, Lil Wayne, I'm talking about Lil Boosie, Meek Mills, and all them. I'm just keeping it real, man. That's why our sons are messed up now. But it's your job to teach your sons and also your daughters. It's real talk, man. It's your job. It's our job as parents to teach our children so that they won't go out there and bump their head and learn the hard way. That's the truth, man. Because at the end of the day, it's nobody's fault but yours. And God is holding y'all accountable for not raising them upright. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm being real with you, man. But listen to this right here. And this is what's going on in America right now. Real talk. Our children are oppressing us more so than anything. Listen to this right here. This ain't my words. This is the Bible. Listen. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Look at the black race of people. I'm being honest with you, man. Who oppress us more so than anything? Our children. I'm being honest with you, man. Our children, I'm talking about, got some of us pulling our hair out of our head. I'm talking about some of us, I'm talking about, man, we so stressed out. I'm talking about so stressed out over our children, it don't make no sense. I'm being honest with you. Some of us, I'm talking about, man, we can't even find no peace because of our children. I'm talking about some of us even right now can't even sleep, even as I'm talking right now, because they child out there in the streets and they hear gunshots and they wonder if this a child or not. Real talk. our children oppress us more so than anything. But the reason why our children are oppressing us is because it's our fault, because we failed to raise them. We not raising them up right. I'm just telling you the truth. It's sad how our children get, you know what I'm saying, orange jumpsuits and black and white jumpsuits. I'm talking about, man, and serving the life sentence in prison. I'm being honest with you. It's sad, man, how we end up going to prison. But you look at white people, look at their children. They can go off to Yale and Princeton. And I'm talking about Harvard. I'm talking about they can go off to college and make some out of themselves. But look at us. I'm talking about, man, only thing we know is how to go out there and sell dope. That's it. Only thing we know is how to go out there and put a gun up to somebody's head and blow their brains out. That's all we know is that street life. But as far as us, I'm talking about knowing how to pick up a book and study it. And I'm talking about, and as far as us gaining knowledge from going to school, real talk, man, we ain't gaining no knowledge when it comes to, I'm talking about education-wise. That's real talk. But then at the end of the day, the only thing we know is that street life. The only thing we know is, man, how to go out there and sell dope and to make a baby. That's it. It's sad, man. I'm being honest. That's why it's important that you raise your children up in the proper way and teach them to push your kids to get an education. Real talk. And the most important, to teach your children about God. Not how to be traditionalized, but teach them how to be spiritual. Teach them how to form that personal relationship with God, where they can know God for themselves. So when they go before God and when they pray, they can get results. I'm being honest with you. I ain't talking about teaching your child how to jump all over the church and dance and shout and speak in tongues and learn all that. I'm talking about that man-made tradition stuff. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about teaching your children how to be spiritual. Just like Abraham. Notice Abraham in the Bible. Abraham, you know what I'm saying, taught his son what? It passed down to the seed, right? Look at how Abraham, his son, ended up being exactly how Abraham was. Isaac ended up being like Abraham. And Isaac taught his son, Jacob. Jacob ended up being just like what? Isaac. Real, I'm talking about this is a family now. I'm being honest with you. Why? Because they taught their sons. It's real, man. And it's the same with us, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to teach our sons how to be, you know what I'm saying, spiritual. You know, I'm going to teach them about God. Real talk. Because at the end of the day, if we was to have God in the household, man, and we was to teach our children about God, number one, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't mind coming to the house of God. They wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying, picking up their Bible and reading. You wouldn't have to force them to pick up their Bible and read it. You wouldn't have to force them to pray at all. It'll be just instilled in them. Like my daddy never had to force me to pray or pick up the Bible at all. My mama never had to force me to pray or pick up the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They just taught me how to be spiritual, and they taught me how to pray and form, and they taught me how to form a relationship with God, you know what I'm saying, for myself. And that's what I did. And the thing about it, you know what I'm saying, I love praying. I love seeking God. I love, you know what I'm saying, fasting. I'm just keeping it real. They don't got to make me fast or pray or do none of that. I'm being honest with you. That's why I'm teaching. I'm telling y'all this. Real talk. Teach your sons how to be spiritual. Teach your daughters how to be spiritual. Not traditionalized, but teach them how to form a relationship with God, whereas they can know God for themselves. That's real, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to help our children. I'm being honest with you, man. It's God, number one. Because at the end of the day, man, we are chosen people, the black race of people. I'm just going to say this right here. And the reason why God is punishing a lot of us, because at the end of the day, we fell off track. We disobedient people. I'm just keeping it real, man, and we have turned away from God. I'm being honest with you. Just like the Bible speaks about the children of Israel, that's a black race of people. That's real talk. I'm being honest with you. If you was to study all throughout the Bible, you would see it for yourself. Even in Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm keeping it real. But the reason why God allowed us to be enslaved every time, you know what I'm saying? The reason why God allowed us to be in slavery every time we were disobedient was because, you know what I'm saying, we turned to idol gods. This the children of Israel in the Bible, which is the black race of people. We are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible is speaking about. Real talk. I'm keeping it real. But at the end of the day, because of our disobedience, that's why God is allowing us to suffer. Notice we are the lowest of the lowest out of every race. There's real talk. I'm keeping it real, man. I'm being honest with you, but it's all because of our disobedience. But if we was to turn to God and line up with God the way that we should, we don't have to worry about killing each other out there in the streets. I'm being honest with you. We don't have to worry about hating each other like how we doing even right now. We could bury all this hatred, because God, first of all, he will help us to bury all this hatred that's going on. But as long as we don't walk in the spirit, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to show this to you right now to back this up, what I'm talking about. Look at this right here. I'm being honest with you, man. This is going to continue to go on right here, what I'm finna show. As long as we don't turn to God, I'm finna show you something, man. This was gonna continue. This gonna continue to happen dealing with the black race people. We're gonna continue to fight each other. We're gonna continue to kill up one another. Real talk. I mean, get ready to hear about more murders being committed out there in the street because number one, we ain't turning to God. It's real talk. Well, watch this right here.
Huh, DB? DB, huh? They tripping. You know, tripping.
Check this out now. We want to talk about Black Lives Matter though. Look at this. Look at this. Talk about Black Lives Matter, man. So we out there fighting. Can't even get along. Sad, man. Can't even get along. We want to talk about Black Lives Matter. We need to protest about this.
Man, this fight.
We need to protest about this. This is what we need to protest about. Black folks killing one another and fighting one another. This is real talk. We want to talk about some Black Lives Matter. I'll be honest, man. We want to talk about Black Lives Matter, but we can't get along. We can't even come together. I'm talking about jealous of one another, man. Competing against one another, fighting one another, man. We got to bury this stuff. But the only way that's going to ever happen, man, we got to turn to God. Or else we're going to continue on fighting one another. And like I'm going to say this again. We need to kill this Black Lives Matter stuff. Get rid of it. Real talk, get rid of that crap. And what we need to do, we're going to protest and have picket signs and going around talking about Black Lives Matter. Real talk, we're going to protest on this Black Lives Matter issue. We're going to protest about something. I'm going to say it right here. We need to get our picket signs. We need to go out there and protest on this black on black crime issue. We need to protest on this hatred that's going on between us. And we need to protest about us showing love and come together. Real talk, man. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, man. It's some real talk. But at the end of the day, like I said, I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing but the truth. This is some real talk. And I'm telling y'all the truth because I love y'all. It's real talk. But at the end of the day, as long as we keep on, man, as long as we don't, you know what I'm saying, walk upright before God, as long as we continue on being disobedient, as long as we don't turn to God, we can expect for this stuff to keep happening. I don't care where you go, you're going to see black men being slain out there in the streets. I'm talking about you're going to see black men being murdered by the hands of another black man. It's just the truth. I'm keeping it real. But at the end of the day, this is the end of my message. And this is Prophet Tony O'Bond from Against All Lies Ministries. And I will be back with another live video whenever God lead me. And y'all have